Hello guys, I'm Michael from The Force of Focus, and today we're talking about how to start tattooing for beginners. Now I'm going to walk you through step by step on what you're going to need, what you're going to do, and what you're going to need to forget all about so that you can start to move forward in the career path of your dreams. Now I've been tattooing for about 20 years and I've learned a lot of valuable lessons on what it is we can do to make this the most sustainable and the most successful career path humanly possible. So I'm going to give you all the information that you're ever going to need to know to at least get up and running so that we can work you into a more advanced stage of this career path. In this video, we're going to walk you through everything that you're going to need for supplies and for equipment to ensure the fact you have not forgotten anything when you sit down to tattoo on your fake skins. We're also going to walk through the things that I believe you need to consistently remember and always refine, as well as some of the things that you may have already learned that are bad habits that need to be broken almost immediately. You're probably fully aware that this is not an easy career path to get into. You've probably seen a lot of gatekeeping, probably heard a lot of no's, which is why you've come here to learn as much as you possibly can to try to do things the right way the first time, or I don't know, maybe the 20th, depending upon where you're at. But I'm glad you're here. So the things that you're going to need to know about tattooing is it is so much more about what you think tattooing can provide you, but what you can truly provide your clients moving forward. So taking these steps to learn the right ways for stencil application, for needle depth, for point of entry, all of these different little things that I'm going to walk you through are extremely important to not only know and to hear, but to consistently practice to refine your skills so that when you do get to the point of tattooing on real clients, you are going to be an absolute monster. So what you're going to want is going to be obviously your machine, whether that's rotary or coil, completely up to you, which is going to determine if you're going to use cartridge or bar needles. I'm going to recommend that you have a 5 and a 9 to start off with because we're going to be practicing lines first. I promise you, you will thank me for this later. You're also going to need to determine if you're going to use cocoa butter or if you're going to use Vaseline. Here, I hate to say this, use Vaseline. It just makes it easier, and then you're not going to need green soap or water later when you're trying to get rid of your ink on your fake skin, but we'll get there. You're also going to need ink caps, you're going to need ink, and you're going to need your fake skin. Now, I usually recommend Pound of Flesh because Amazon-based products are just trash. You are never going to be able to gauge your progress on crap materials. If you go cheap and affordable, that is the kind of quality of tattoo you will produce, both on fake skin and on people. So please, for the love of God, invest in tattooing. It is an extremely important career that I value deeply, and I want to make sure that you are producing the best quality stuff humanly possible moving forward. Really hope you went with Pound of Flesh because they've got like flat sheets, they've got hands, they've got feet, they've got cats. You can have fun with this because it's not a real person. So what you're going to want to do with your hand, foot, face, or cat is prep it with rubbing alcohol. Sometimes it comes with a weird oily residue that is just going to make it harder to do your carbon application. You're going to want to have your designs ready to rock and roll. So you're going to want to have straight lines or S-curves cut out and ready to apply. Use speed stick on the clean surface and then apply your carbon with even pressure. Do not get weird. Don't smudge it. Just one good even press. Hold it there for about 30 seconds. If you need to, dab it down with your thumb to ensure it is there where it needs to be, and then do a slow peel back. Now, the one thing that I want you to remember is you have to be patient with fake skin. You have to let it dry for about 4 hours so that the stencil actually stays. If you rush the process, you will lose the carbon really, really fast. 4 hours can seem like a really long time, but this is a really good opportunity to get your station all prepped up and make sure that you're doing things to a professional standard so that when you do go from tattooing fake skin to people, you already have the muscle memory and the reminder of what to do so you know that you are prepared to be the most professional and the most safe, because safety is key when it comes to professional tattooing, I promise you. So you're going to want to make sure that you rub everything down with your cleaning agent. In the professional world, it's going to be Cavicide or Maticide, but at home, it can be rubbing alcohol. Whatever it is, just get in the habit of it. Make sure you wrap everything up. Not only make sure that your machine is wrapped, but that the surface you're going to be tattooing on is wrapped. Generally, you're going to want to apply a little bit of your petroleum jelly or your cocoa butter down, dip your ink caps in it bottom side so it sticks to the surface, and then fill up your ink caps. When it comes to wrapping your machine, always make sure to wrap the grip and to have everything accessible on the machine as covered as humanly possible. I'm sad to announce that with rotary machines, it's physically impossible to do, but do your best, please. 4 hours is probably up on your dry time and you are ready to rock. You have your machine set up, your station's all set, your carbon's dry, and you are eager to get up and running to start learning the real valuable stuff. So this is where you really want to be able to have a little bit more knowledge about the voltage that you run the machine of your choice at in comparison to your hand speed, because you can adjust. If your line is coming out spotty or a little broken up, you can adjust your hand speed, or you can adjust the voltage to make sure that you get that clean, crisp line that you want. You also need to know how to hold your machine. And I usually recommend holding it just like a pencil. You can curve your middle finger underneath for stability and utilize these two fingers to ensure needle depth when you're either pushing a line, pulling a line, or curving a line. And that's going to help you stay consistent with everything. Now, these things will adjust based on skin types moving forward into the more professional working on clients element of things. But for right now, learn your muscle memory. You can test a few things out because your hand, foot, face, or cat are not going to be upset about the outcome, but you should be. So this is why we do this first. We have to practice and we have to learn that muscle memory. One thing to keep in mind is with your backup hand, always remember to stretch the skin. Even if you're working on fake skin, getting into the habit of stretching and running your lines is only going to set you up for success moving forward into the future. Things that you can do is create bad habits in tattooing, all right? But it's extremely common even in professionals because we get comfortable and we start breaking the things that we knew. We start going against the fundamentals and we start creating our own practices. So let's go ahead and just dive right into the fundamentals that you're going to need to know to be able to run proper lines. Don't forget to stretch the skin, all right? You can do a 3-point stretch, 1, 2, 3. So when you push your line, you know that your skin is always stretched. When you pull your line, your skin is always stretched, or when you're curving a line, your skin is always stretched. But stretching the skin is going to be the most important part to ensure consistency in those lines once you have your hand speed and your voltages down. Now, one thing that I've always liked to tell my apprentices is the airplane theory. When you're going in for a line, you don't just want to plant your machine and run. You want to come in like a landing of an airplane, run your machine, and then dagger stroke out. All right, like a plane's taking off. Everything in tattooing has to be done gracefully, so you have to get into that pattern, all right? A lot of tattoo artists coming in, they already look at their lives as a mosh pit, but you don't want to do this shit aggressively. You want to be able to have the smooth flow of the actions of, which is why we talk so heavily about the muscle memory and truly getting into the habit of doing these things the right way the first time. So remember, metronome. Graceful, clean-ass line. All honesty, what I want to do is give you as many fundamentals as humanly possible so that when you do move over to tattooing on the general public and people in general, you have these things locked in. Muscle memory is massive, so the more you can practice these basics, the better you will get moving forward into the future. So don't test too much. Don't try to do massive pieces right away. Practice your length of line and the amount of curves to that line. Practice shapes. Once you get done with your lines, you can move into shading, you can move into saturation. That's all fine and dandy. But if you can master the art of the line, then your fundamentals and your confidence are already being built. And these are the things that you're going to apply for the rest of your career. There are a lot of things that we need to preface this information on. Like earlier, I had said use speed stick when it comes to your stencil application, and that only works for your fake skin. When it comes to working with real clients, make sure that you use an actual stencil application product because speed stick is just terrible to put into another person's body. Also, here you're going to be using Vaseline or petroleum jelly, and that's just going to help to remove the black ink when you're practicing your lines, but should not be used on actual skin because it will oversaturate. Now, you're going to get a lot of mixed emotions on statements like this, but over the time, I've learned that products like cocoa butter or even hustle butter that are designated for skin application and skin absorption are just going to produce a better result. So, always invest in the career that you want. Do not go cheap and affordable. Go name brand because they are made for quality. They are made for longevity. When it comes to practicing, use the cheap stuff. That's fine. But as you continuously scale in this business and you start to work with clients, provide them with the best quality products and the best quality materials humanly possible. I promise you, it will produce the best result. So if this information was valuable to you, please drop your questions in the comments below. I will be active in them. I want to make sure that everybody knows what it is they're getting themselves into and how it is they can apply this best so that you can become the most professional individual humanly possible. This career means a great deal to me, so I want to make sure that you are getting all of the right information the first time. If this is something that you liked, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions.